Today I'm going to be making the Jiffy Fudge Brownie mix. This was mailed to us from Jamisha, so thank you very, very much, Jamisha. All you need for this Jiffy Fudge Brownie mix is an egg, 1 tablespoon of water, and 2 tablespoons of oil. Now, if you want to use nuts, you can. Nuts are optional, and you can put a ½ cup of chopped nuts in there if you want to. So what you want to do is you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And these bake in a loaf pan. So that's the difference between this brownie mix and other brownie mixes, is you need it's a 9x5 inch loaf pan. And you want to spray it. And that is a dark fudge. So this is our loaf pan that we're using, and we just sprayed it. But now I'm going to just add all my ingredients, my egg, water, and oil, to this bowl. And we're going to stir it up. And then we're going to put it in the loaf pan. Okay, so you want to bake these on 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. I'm gonna go for 25 minutes and then we'll be back. So this is at 25 minutes and the brownies are finished cooking, baking. I think it looks good. So you're supposed to let them cool before cutting. So I'm gonna let them sit here for probably 10 minutes and then we'll cut them. So we've let this sit for about 10 minutes. It looks like it's deflated a little bit. If you wanted to, we greased the pan well enough to where you could take this and flip it over and cut it that way. I'm just gonna cut it in the pan. It says that you get like 6 to 8 pieces. So I'm just gonna cut it like I normally would. And cut it like this, and then I would cut it once down the middle.
That's 8.
Yeah, there's your 8 pieces. You get 8 squares. And then I have a little tool here to take these out. Okay. So they look like they're ooey gooey brownies, which is good because that's the way I like my brownies. There we go. Okay, you ready? Let's see. This says about seven servings in the container, 3 tablespoons of the mix,
which is useless.
Is 130 calories. Per baked portion is 170 calories, but that's if you only got 7. I got 8 out of mine. So, forget the calories. Just eat them.
I don't know why they give you the portion size was 6 to 8. Mm-hmm. And then they give you calories for 7. That's weird.
That's a good brownie.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's very soft in the middle. Almost to the point of being like gooey, but not quite.
I ate my whole piece.
Yeah, that's very good.
That is a good brownie. I'm shocked.
If you want the edges are soft. So if you want a little crunchier edge, you have to cook it a little longer, but. It
said 25 to 30 minutes. We did it for 25. And honestly, I told Kevin, when I put those in the oven, I said, that's a long time because you're only using that little loaf pan and it's just a thin layer at the bottom. And that just seemed like a really long time to me. Of course, I haven't made brownies in a while, but that just seems like a long time to me for such a thin layer. Those are perfect. If you like ooey gooey brownies, I love the flavor of that. Yeah. And I would think these would be cheaper than other brands.
Yeah, but they don't make as much.
No, they do not make as much. So like,
I mean, you buy like a Duncan Hines or something, it's twice as much because it makes a big square.
It makes a big square. Yeah, you're using a 8x8 or a 9x9 inch pan. This does make a lot less. So like, I mean, if I wanted to, I could eat all 8 of those pieces. No problem. I could eat all of them. Or you could, between 2 people, you could half it.
These are also a little soft. Like, I'm trying to compare them to like other brownies we've had. This is much softer, almost cake-like. Whereas those brownies are more of a chewier texture, especially on the edges. It's kind of a chewy texture. These are more cake-like.
I think they're delicious.
They're very good.
I'm
the flavor
impressed.
is wonderful.
I really am impressed. And it gives several
chocolatey.
other recipes on here. So like I did just the fudge brownie.
And if you could have just added nuts to that, it would have even elevated it another layer.
Oh yes. I love, and Kevin does too, walnuts. Walnuts with brownies, top notch. So I could have done that. But they also have a recipe called Bonanza brownies. And it takes a half a cup, same thing, it takes an egg and water. But then it also takes a half a cup mini marshmallows, a 1/4 cup chocolate chips, and a 1/4 cup walnuts. That sounds really good with marshmallows. So
just
easy
to jazz
to
up
do.
that flavor a little bit.
And then it has another recipe. It says black bottom cheesecake. And so for the crust, you use the brownie mix, the egg, water, oil, and a half cup chocolate chips. So the same thing we did for the brownies, except you're gonna use chocolate chips. And that's for a crust in your cheesecake. And then it gives you ingredients for a filling. You use cream cheese, sugar, vanilla, eggs, and chocolate chips. And then you've got yourself a cheesecake.
You know, you could probably buy, if you want to be cheap and easy, you could probably make that, bake it, just like they say, in a pan, and then buy one of those Oreo cheesecake mixes and put that on the top of that as a crust. That would probably be just as easy.
Oh yeah, but the Oreo cheesecake mix, doesn't it come with
It comes
the
with
crust?
like the crust stuff, the Oreo, crushed Oreo, but you just don't use it. You could use that as a base instead of the crushed Oreos.
I would rather have the crushed Oreos.
I would too, I'm just saying, you could do it that
right.
way. Instead of mixing up all that stuff they're saying.
I think those Bonanza ones sound really good. With the marshmallows, chocolate chips, and walnuts, that sounds nice. But even just the way they are out of the package, that's a heck of a mix. It really is. Very, very good. And I would have never thought
Especially if you want more of a cake-like, even though they're saying they're fudge brownies, they're really more of a cake-like brownie than a fudge brownie.
Yes.
They're not as chewy as some of the other brands are.
Right. Well, Jamisha, thank you very, very much for sending us these.
I'm sure they sell these in our store. We've just never bought them.
And we've never bought them. You know, some things have been there for years and you walk past it and it just never occurs to you to buy it and try it. Because there's one brand of brownies that we buy. If I'm going to buy a box of brownies, that's what I buy. And honestly, I would still buy that box of brownies because it's my favorite. But I do like these more than other name brands of brownies.
Yeah. Think about if you were having a party and you want to have a little tray of brownies for kids or something, you can buy 2 of these and still probably be cheaper than the actual.
Yeah, you're going to get 16 pieces, definitely. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll have a picture for you at the end, and thanks for watching.